Liz Cambage's story is one of unparalleled talent and endless controversy. From setting WNBA records to sparking global outrage, she's been a figure of both admiration and criticism. But behind the highlight reels and headlines lies a career marked by conflicts, mental health battles, and an explosive exit. But what truly led the 6'8" basketball phenom to walk away from the league that once hailed her as a legend? Liz Cambage was born in London, UK in 1991 to a Nigerian father and an Australian mother. Shortly after her birth, her parents separated, and Liz moved to Australia with her mother when she was just 3 months old. Growing up, Liz's extraordinary height made her a target for bullying. By the age of 10, she stood 6 feet tall, a striking difference from her peers that often left her feeling isolated.
I think I grew up not really realizing the amount of racism I went through in school and high school.
And she was different. She was a bit chubby. She was different. She was, a bit out there. And she really struggled to make friends and felt a bit bullied.
The teasing she endured at school made it difficult for her to form friendships. To cope with the challenges, Liz found solace in basketball, which quickly became more than just a refuge. It was a path to belonging and purpose. Her natural talent didn't go unnoticed. Liz earned a scholarship to the Australian Institute of Sport, AIS, a stepping stone for many of the country's top athletes, playing for the AIS team in Australia's Women's National Basketball League, WNBL.
So I made the AIS when I was 15, and that's when I decided this is what my career will be.
She quickly gained attention for her dominance on the court. Analysts compared her to Lauren Jackson, Australia's greatest women's basketball player, dubbing Liz the next big thing in the sport. Standing tall at 6'8", with exceptional skills for her size, Liz began to stand out not just locally, but on the international stage as well. In 2011, Liz Cambage took the next big step in her career when she was drafted 2nd overall by the Tulsa Shock in the WNBA.
Next week, Liz Cambage will learn her fate in the WNBA draft here at ESPN HQ in Connecticut. With the teenager set to be in the top 2 picks, basketball in Australia is destined for another massive shot in the arm.
Her rookie season was nothing short of impressive. She earned all rookie team honors, showcasing her ability to adapt to the world's most competitive basketball league. Liz's combination of size, skill, and presence made her a force on the court, drawing comparisons to dominant players across the league. Her impact wasn't just about her performance. Liz's charisma and confidence made her a standout figure in the WNBA. She represented the new era of women's basketball, both talented and unapologetically bold. Fans eagerly anticipated her rise to superstardom, and her rookie year hinted at what could be an extraordinary career. Liz Cambage cemented her place as one of the most dominant players in WNBA history. Selected as a 4-time WNBA All-Star 2011, 2018, 2019, and 2021, her performances showcased a combination of strength, skill, and basketball IQ rarely seen in the league. In 2018, Liz delivered a performance for the ages, setting the WNBA single-game scoring record by dropping an astonishing 53 points in a game against the New York Liberty. This remarkable feat remains unmatched, solidifying her as a legendary scorer. During the 2018 season, Liz led the league in scoring, averaging 23 points per game. Her ability to dominate in the paint, combined with her soft shooting touch, made her nearly unstoppable. Opposing teams struggled to contain her as her towering 6'8" frame and relentless style of play overwhelmed defenders. Whether posting up, grabbing rebounds, or delivering clutch plays, Liz's on-court impact was undeniable. Liz's talents weren't confined to the WNBA. She took her game global, playing in China for the Zhejiang Chozhou and Beijing Great Wall basketball teams. In China, Liz became one of the highest paid female basketball players, reportedly earning $400,000 per season, an amount far exceeding typical WNBA salaries. Her time in China not only showcased her skills, but also underscored the financial disparities in women's basketball leagues worldwide. Representing Australia, Liz was a pivotal player for the Opals, contributing to the national team's success. She competed in multiple international tournaments, including the Olympics, where she became a central figure for her team. Liz's performance on the global stage further cemented her reputation as one of the best female basketball players of her generation. On the court, Liz Cambage's presence was commanding. Her towering height, combined with her fiery energy and confidence, made her a force to be reckoned with. Off the court, she was equally bold. Liz's outspoken outspoken personality often put her in the spotlight, earning both praise and criticism. She embraced her individuality, using her platform to advocate for issues like mental health, body positivity, and racial representation in sports. Liz Cambage has been remarkably open about her mental health battles, bringing attention to issues often overlooked in the sports world. She has candidly shared her struggles with anxiety and depression, revealing deeply personal moments, such as being placed on suicide watch in 2016. In an article for the Players Tribune, Liz recounted the hardest conversation of her life, calling her mother to admit she no longer wanted to live. Despite the pain of that period, Liz has since used her platform to shed light on the importance of mental health support for athletes. For Liz, basketball was both a refuge and a source of stress. On one hand, it offered her a sense of belonging and accomplishment. On the other, the relentless pressure to perform at the highest level often pushed her to breaking points. Liz has spoken about the duality of the sport, describing it as both a comfort and a stressor, a reality faced by many athletes but rarely discussed so openly. In 2021, Liz withdrew from the Tokyo Olympics, citing mental health concerns. The decision came after mounting pressures and controversies, including her well-publicized criticisms of Australia's lack of racial diversity in Olympic promotional materials. She expressed her frustration with the country's representation, calling it a whitewashing of its athletes, which only added to the immense scrutiny she faced. Her withdrawal from the Australian Open shocked fans and teammates alike. Liz admitted she couldn't handle the intense expectations surrounding her participation in the Olympics, acknowledging that her mental health had reached a critical point. Though she initially intended to compete, the weight of the situation ultimately led her to prioritize her well-being over representing her country. Liz's mental health struggles have been central to her narrative, shaping key decisions throughout her career. Her openness about these challenges has resonated with fans and sparked important conversations about the toll professional sports take on athletes. However, the pressures of her career, combined with her outspoken nature, often made her a target for criticism, further complicating her path. Liz Cambage's most infamous controversy occurred during a pre-Olympics warm-up game between Australia's Opals and the Nigerian national team in 2021. Reports surfaced that Liz had not only been involved in a physical altercation with Nigerian players, but had also directed racial slurs at them. Allegedly, Liz called the Nigerian players monkeys and told them to go back to their third world country. The incident escalated to the point that the game was abandoned. The backlash was swift, with Nigerian players publicly confirming the allegations. They recounted how Liz elbowed a player, Victoria Macaulay, causing a gash in her neck, and slapped another player. Nigerian team members expressed shock and disbelief, particularly because Liz had previously spoken about her Nigerian heritage. Before the game, Liz reportedly told the Nigerian players she'd prefer to play for them rather than her Australian teammates, whom she called racist. Liz denied the allegations of racial slurs in a lengthy Instagram post, stating that the narrative presented in the media was false and misleading. She admitted to the physical altercation, but claimed she had unintentionally fouled a Nigerian player and was then assaulted in retaliation. Liz added that the incident could have been avoided if professional referees had been present. Despite her denials, video evidence and scars on one Nigerian player supported the claims of a brawl, and her apology was widely criticized as insincere and incomplete. This incident severely damaged her reputation. Liz's time with the LA Sparks in 2022 was marked by internal disputes that further soured her public image. She frequently voiced her frustrations about not being passed the ball enough during games, publicly calling out her teammates during film sessions. Her criticisms were seen as disruptive, especially as her on-court performance began to decline. One of the most divisive moments came when Liz demanded to wear the retired jersey number 8, which had been retired in honor of Delisha Milton-Jones, a Sparks legend. When her request was denied, Liz pushed for another number, 1, which belonged to Amanda Zahui B, a current Sparks player. Despite Amanda's refusal to relinquish her number, the management eventually caved in and reassigned the jersey to Liz without informing Amanda directly. Amanda reportedly found out through social media, leading to widespread criticism of Liz and the Sparks' handling of the situation. The tension within the team escalated, with teammates perceiving Liz as entitled and unwilling to adapt. Even when her teammates began force-feeding her the ball during games, the results were often disastrous, contributing to embarrassing losses. By mid-season, Liz's relationship with her teammates had deteriorated to the point that her departure felt inevitable. The controversies surrounding Liz Cambage sparked a storm of criticism from fans, media, and former players alike. Many Many accused her of entitlement and disruptive behavior. Social media was particularly harsh, with users pointing out that Liz's actions, such as the racial slurs and jersey number demands, reflected deeper issues of privilege and accountability. Australian basketball legends Andrew Bogut and Andrew Gaze also weighed in. Bogut described Liz's actions as beyond despicable and stated there were additional, unrepeatable details about her behavior that had not been made public. Gaze criticized Liz for claiming she felt unsupported by the Australian team, calling it offensive to those who had worked to elevate her career. These statements highlighted a growing discontent within the Australian basketball community regarding Liz's conduct. For many fans, the racial slur incident was a tipping point. Critics argued that such language could not be excused as a heat-of-the-moment outburst, as it pointed to a deeper problem. The fact that Liz is of Nigerian descent herself only added to the outrage, with many calling her actions hypocritical. By the time Liz left the LA Sparks in July 2022, her reputation had suffered irreparable damage. Her exit from the WNBA was abrupt, with an Instagram post citing mental health concerns and a need for safer environments in the league. However, the controversies surrounding her overshadowed any sympathy her statement might have garnered. In July 2022, Liz Cambage shocked the basketball world by abruptly parting ways with the LA Sparks in the middle of the WNBA season. Her decision was announced in an Instagram post where she stated that she was stepping away from not just the Sparks, but the entire league. Liz cited her mental health and the need for safer environments as her reasons for leaving. In her post, she expressed gratitude to her teammates, describing playing for the Sparks as a dream come true. However, she also admitted that the circumstances leading to her exit were far from ideal. Liz's statement hinted at unresolved issues within the team and league, but the exact details remained unclear. She also wrote that she intended to focus on her healing and personal growth while promising to address rumors surrounding her departure at a later time. Fans and analysts were left wondering whether her decision stemmed from her struggles, the toxic dynamics within the Sparks, or a combination of both. Liz's departure left the LA Sparks reeling. The team, already struggling to find consistency during the season, faced an even greater challenge after losing one of its star players. Reports of declining morale and fractured team dynamics followed her exit. Teammates were said to be frustrated by the controversies Liz brought to the team, from her jersey number demands to her public complaints about not being passed the ball enough. On the court, Liz's performance during the 2022 season had already begun to decline. She averaged just 13 points, 6.4 rebounds, and 1.6 blocks per game. Numbers that, while solid, were far below her career averages and even her rookie season. Her contributions were inconsistent, with flashes of dominance overshadowed by moments of poor decision-making and lack of effort. The Sparks finished the season with a lackluster record, failing to make a playoff run. While Liz's departure wasn't solely to blame, it marked a significant turning point in an already challenging season for the franchise. Liz Cambage's exit from the WNBA was unceremonious, marking the end of what could have been a celebrated chapter in her career. While her statement suggested that her departure was driven by personal struggles, critics pointed to her behavior as a major factor. From internal conflicts to public controversies, Liz's actions alienated teammates, fans, and management. After her abrupt departure from the WNBA in 2022, Liz Cambage's basketball journey took a new turn. In March 2023, she signed with Maccabi Ashdod, a top-tier Israeli basketball team competing in the Israeli Division I league. Maccabi Ashdod had established itself as one of the most successful teams in the league, boasting multiple championships and a strong roster of talent. Joining Maccabi Ashdod allowed Liz to continue playing professionally alongside other former WNBA players, such as Kalani Brown and Ndaya Jones. This move demonstrated her desire to remain active in the sport, even outside the spotlight of the WNBA. In Israel, Liz took on a key role within the team, using her experience and skill to contribute to their success. Her performances on the court were closely watched, as fans wondered whether she could reclaim her dominance away from the controversies that had defined her WNBA exit. While continuing her basketball career overseas, Liz also explored opportunities off the court, including joining OnlyFans, a platform known for its subscription-based content. Liz's transition to OnlyFans was emblematic of her unapologetic embrace of individuality and body positivity. She has often spoken about her pride in her body and her desire to control her narrative. Liz's OnlyFans account initially gained attention for offering exclusive content, which she marketed heavily through her social media platforms. While some fans supported her her decision as an empowering move, others criticized it, arguing that it clashed with her basketball legacy. Liz, however, remained steadfast in her choice, framing it as a way to reclaim agency over her public image and diversify her income. The reaction to Liz's post-WNBA career has been polarizing. Supporters praise her for embracing her individuality and refusing to conform to traditional expectations, while critics see her choices as further evidence of a career derailed by controversy. Liz has defended her actions, stating that her focus is on her happiness and personal growth. Liz Cambage's basketball legacy is undeniable. Standing at 6'8", she dominated the WNBA as one of its most impactful players, leaving her mark with record-breaking performances and unparalleled presence on the court. A four-time WNBA All-Star and the holder of the league's single-game scoring record of 53 points, Liz was a force to be reckoned with. Her unique combination of size, skill, and charisma made her a standout in women's basketball, inspiring countless young athletes to pursue their dreams. Off the court, Liz used her platform to advocate for mental health awareness, openly discussing her struggles with anxiety and depression. Her honesty about these challenges shed light on the mental health toll faced by professional athletes. Additionally, she pushed for greater diversity and representation in sports, speaking out against racial inequality and standing firm in her beliefs. These efforts showcased Liz as more than just a basketball player. She became a voice for issues that resonated with many. However, Liz's legacy is not without controversy. While her on-court performances were legendary, her off-court actions often overshadowed her achievements. Incidents such as the racial slur controversy during the 2021 pre-Olympics warm-up game, conflicts with teammates, and her tumultuous exit from the LA Sparks painted a complex picture of a player struggling to balance her talent with personal challenges. These controversies left fans and critics divided. Some view her as a trailblazer who stood by her values, while others see her actions as entitlement and a lack of accountability. The question remains, can Liz rebuild her legacy, or will her off-court behavior define her career? From her rise as one of the WNBA's most dominant players to her abrupt and turbulent exit, she has remained a polarizing figure in basketball. Her unmatched talent and bold personality left an indelible mark on the sport, but her off-court actions often overshadowed her accomplishments. Liz Cambage was born in Britain to an Australian mother and a Nigerian father in 1991. Her parents separated when Cambage was 3 months old, and she moved to Australia with her mother.
So how old were you when you moved from the UK?
3 months. 3 months old.
You came when you were 3 months old?
Yeah, Mum brought me home when I was 3 months old.
Wow. So you wouldn't have had any memory of your parents being together, obviously.
Oh, they tried to work it out for a few years. Like, I think the last time I saw Dad, I was 7.
First, her mother moved them to South Wales. Then she moved them again to Australia. Finally, her mother moved them to Melbourne, Austin, when she was 10 years old. She was enrolled in school there, and her giant figure shocked most of the kids her age, causing them to tease and make fun of her height.
I felt like that as a teenager. Like, Mum, you know, every other week Dad would call and I just didn't want to speak to him. And then when I turned 18, I was like, Mum, look, this just feels so forced for me. Like, you've raised me my whole life. I don't feel like I need him in my life. And I know one day I might regret it and look back and, you know, feel like I should have like had more time with my dad. But right now I'm just like, I'm happy. I've got my mum, I've got my nana, and they've my whole life, so yeah.
Today, she's what you'd call a female giant, standing tall at 6 feet 8 inches. Back then, at the age of 10, she was already 6 feet tall, which is about 1.83 meters. By the time she was 14, she was about 6.5 feet tall, roughly 1.98 meters. Kids being kids, seeing someone who was oddly tall obviously made fun of her. Due to her height, it wasn't easy for her to make friends, so she took up basketball as a way to connect with people of like minds and make friends. As a teenager, she was already playing for a WNBA team, serving as the center for the Dandenong Rangers from 2007-2008. In 2007, she accepted a scholarship to the Australian Institute of Sport, AIS, and she played for the AIS team based in Canberra in the Women's National Basketball League for the remainder of the 2007-2008 season. By this time, there were already too many eyes on her, with ABC being one of them. They even suggested she could be the next Lauren Jackson. Only a few international players were taller than Cambage at this time. The two known players taller than her were Margot Didek, who was about 2.18 meters, roughly 7 feet 2 inches, and Sue, who was about 6 feet 8 inches. At a very young age, her presence on the court alone frightened many WNBA players. She was truly a force to be reckoned with at such a young age, averaging about 20 points and 10 rebounds throughout her junior career.
Here's Cambage, the trailer. In the paint, off one foot, Liz! Oh, don't do him like that, Liz!
She was selected second overall by the Tulsa Shock in the 2011 WNBA draft. Her rookie year was deadly, and she was even added to the all-rookie team. She got drafted at a really young age. Crazy, right? But she was far more amazing than that. She became a 4-time WNBA All-Star in the years 2011, 2018, 2019, and 2021. She accomplished all these incredible feats, even though she expressed her reluctance to play for the WNBA back in 2011 when she participated in the WNBA All-Star Game.
It's kind of like a cheat mode in like a video game. Yeah, it has its pros and cons though. Like clearly I'm taller than everyone else, but people get away with doing a lot to me to like try and slow me down and stop me.
In 2012, she was expected to return to the United States to complete the WNBA season with the Tulsa Shock. However, she made a shocking announcement in the morning. She was supposed to leave for America on August 27th, 2012, but she announced she would no longer be returning to finish the 2012 season. She said she got exhausted after playing for the national team, though she returned to play for Tulsa in the 2013 season. After playing the 2013 season, she quit for a while. She didn't return to the WNBA for about 5 years after the 2013 seasons.
I've always just been head and shoulders above the rest. I was very uncoordinated, wasn't sporty at all. It took a lot of patient coaches, working with me and spending extra time with me to really embrace my body and like learn to use my body to the best advantage.
Cambage rolls, it looks too easy.
This woman is a force to be reckoned with.
Sometime in her career, she went to play in the WCBA for the Zhejiang Chuzhou Basketball Club in China. While in China, she was earning about $400,000 per year. This salary put her at the very top of female professional basketball because female professional basketball players don't typically get paid well. This made her one of the highest paid female basketball players in the world. She also played for the Beijing Great Wall during her career, and it's quite obvious she went to China to create more wealth for herself. Despite making this much money, a report was published in 2019 stating that Liz Cambage wasn't able to meet her mortgage payments, noting she hadn't been paid since September 2018 after an injury prevented her from playing in China. As the years passed after her injury, she developed her skills and improved considerably. When she returned to the WNBA in 2018, she signed a multi-year contract with the Dallas Wings on July 17th, 2018. In that same year, she did something that shocked the world. After being traded to the Dallas Wings, she became a true beast. She even set a WNBA record for the most points scored in a WNBA game, scoring a whopping 53 points in one game.
He is very honest with his team, and he had to do that in particular on the defensive end because they were not good there last year.
Cambage fouled and makes the basket. Dudu now has 4, and that was the third on Vandersloot. Cambage stuffed DeShields. Plum with the miss, but what a tip by Cambage!
Unbelievable, right? She passed the old record by just 2 points, and no one has broken the record to this day, although it's now tied by Aja Wilson. The Wings won that record-setting game with a score of 104-87. This game made Liz so popular that she was voted into the 2018 All-Star Game, marking the second All-Star Game of her career. She had another high-scoring game where she put up 35 points against the Washington Mystics, winning the game 90-80. It's safe to say her presence was truly felt in that game. Her points in that game and the previous one gave her another world record for the highest 2-game point total in the league's history. In the 2018 season, Cambage was extremely dominant, leading the league in scoring. By the end of the season, the Dallas Wings finished with a 15 out of 19 record, placing 8th in the league. In the first round elimination game, the Wings lost 101 of 83 to the Phoenix Mercury. On January 22nd, 2019, Liz requested a trade from the Wings. On May 16th, 2019, she was traded to the Las Vegas Aces. During the 2019 season, she was again voted into the All-Star Game, making it her third All-Star appearance. By the end of the season, the Aces finished 21-13 and secured the 4th seed, earning their way into the second round. From the second round, the Aces went on a rampage, advancing to the semifinals as if it weren't a thing. However, during one of those games, they nearly got eliminated, winning by just 1 point, 93-92 against the Chicago Sky. This was thanks to a beautiful three-point throw made by her teammate Dearica Hamby immediately after a steal. Unfortunately, their efforts were laid to waste by the eventual winners of the competition, the Washington Mystics. In the 6 seasons she played, she averaged 16.3 points, 7.7 rebounds, 1.5 assists, and 1.6 blocks per game. She shot 54.4% from the field. You don't need an angel to tell you that Liz was an elite basketball player in a league of her own.
Stokes plays straight up on Cambage, who goes around her and scores.
That's good execution with Liz getting the basketball on the elbow, spreading the floor, and being able to attack and get to the rim.
Cambage launches the three and knocks it down. 3 of 4 beyond the arc. 41 points for Liz Cambage. The Wings have 84. Cambage from 15 rolls it. She's got 43.
So far, though, we've only spoken about Liz's achievements. What we haven't talked about is her downfall. The shocking controversies in 2021 were strong enough to overshadow her accomplishments, causing her to fall from her high horse. The Australian Olympic community shared promotional photos for the Olympic event back in 2021. The promotional pictures and videos consisted only of pure white Australians, with no inclusion of people of color. These pictures and videos upset Cambage, whose father is Nigerian. She expressed her discontent with the photos showing mostly white Olympians, further stating that people of color have been marginalized. She even mentioned that she wouldn't be participating in the 2021 Olympics in Tokyo. She continued bashing the photos, saying, "If I have said it once, I have said it a million times. How am I supposed to represent a country that doesn't even want to represent me?" She added, "Australia, wake the F***CK up. I'm not playing these games anymore. It's sad. The whitewashing is sad. Your black athletes lead you everywhere. Indigenous athletes are some of the best athletes we have, and y'all don't use them at all." Later, Australia's Olympic community admitted that there should have been more diversity in the photo shoot, and they promised to include more people of color in their future promotions. This acknowledgement came after considerable public pressure, with many athletes speaking up in support of more inclusive representation. Though Liz initially said she would sit this one out, she later confirmed that she was still going to play in the 2021 Tokyo Olympics. Although she didn't end up playing, she withdrew from the Australian women's basketball team, citing mental health issues. She also revealed that she was struggling with the immense pressure and expectations of playing at the highest level. Over the years, she has been quite open about her ongoing mental health challenges. In an interview with the Players Tribune, she revealed she had been battling anxiety and depression for a while. She explained that although basketball brought her a lot of comfort, it was like a coin on one side. It brought her peace, and on the other, it gave her a lot of stress. In an article titled DMP Mental Health, Liz wrote, "Are people ready to talk about how I was put on suicide watch in 2016? How I called up my mom and, in the hardest conversation of my life, told her I didn't want to live anymore? And how even now, even feeling better, I still carry the shame and guilt of having put my loved ones through something so terrifying." Though she showed some of her weakest moments to the world, she was still faced with major criticism from Australian citizens, and her withdrawal left her country deeply disappointed. However, this wasn't Liz's only controversial moment. She did something much worse. She allegedly used a racist slur when playing against the Nigerian Olympic team during a warm-up game in 2021. It's both comical and disappointing because she's of Nigerian descent. Why the friendly fire? Liz was accused of calling the Nigerian team monkeys after elbowing one of her opponents in the neck and slapping another opponent in the face during the clash. The Opal's former captain said that Liz told the Nigerian team to go back to their third world country during the match. This situation unfolded around the same period as the Tokyo Olympics, just before she withdrew from the Opal's team. After withdrawing, Liz said she would never play for the Opal's basketball team again, though around this time she signed with the Southside Flyers for the 2020 to 2021 season. Later, she signed with the WNBA's LA Sparks. During this period, Cambage said she was living her best life playing for the Sparks. In an interview, Liz stated, "I'm supported and protected on a level the Opals and the Australian team never gave me." Liz's comments and her alleged third world country slur infuriated Australian basketball legends Andrew Bogut and Andrew Gaze, who had a lot to say. Andrew Gaze said, "The thing that really grates on me is when she makes comments saying saying she feels supported in Los Angeles at a level that wasn't there with the Australian national team. The suggestion that she was never supported by Australia, the Opals, and Basketball Australia is highly offensive. She was supported not just by me, but by others along the way. Andrew Bogut also had a lot to say regarding Liz's unnecessary comments. He stated, "You just got the PG version. There was much more than that. I'm glad someone came out and said it. It was beyond despicable. There's much more in there that you can't say on the radio. There are some other words that you can never repeat, words I would never even say."
I never had growing up. So just giving them love and support, because it's scary coming into this league.
The issue was never mine or Gloria's, it was more his.
Well, once again, it's like an area of my game I don't really get to show because I'm always in the post, but like, I'm cash, baby.
That's what the show is about.
Corey, we playing ones today, Corey?
How is Corey as a rebounder is the question.
He's a really great son.
Despite all these people expressing their discomfort, Liz didn't offer an apology to either the Nigerian team, the Australian team, or the Opals. Eventually, Liz spoke out on the allegations, from hitting the Nigerian player to using the racial slur. In an article, she denied using racial slurs and owned up to brawling with the Nigerian player. The brawl was caught on video, and Liz wrote that she unintentionally fouled the Nigerian player, who got extremely furious and began attacking her on the sidelines. The clip showed Liz getting hit in the face and falling to the ground. In Liz's article, she claimed that after she was punched, she just walked away, but that's where she lied. The Nigerian player has scars on her body to prove that Liz also assaulted her, and scars don't lie. Still, after all these facts, Liz said the incident could have been avoided if the referee used for the warm-up game had been a professional. She accepted responsibility for her involvement, but distanced herself from the situation. There were just too many issues with her supposed apology, and she wasn't ready to be truly accountable for her actions. She acted entitled and privileged. Hopefully, she didn't make too many enemies during this phase of her life. A few years have passed, which raises the question, where is she now? Is she still who she used to be? In July 2022, Liz and the LA Sparks agreed to part ways amicably. She left the team after her first season, having signed as a free agent in February 2022. Shortly after, she made a post on Instagram which read, "Playing for the Sparks was a dream come true, and I'm honored to have shared the court with such amazing ladies for as long as I did. I am sorry to have left abruptly, and I wish it would have ended on a different note. I have decided to step away from the league for the time being, and I am hopeful that the WNBA will do its part in creating safer environments and a stronger support system for their players. While I will miss rocking the purple and gold, I will be taking this time to focus on my healing and personal growth before providing clarification on past rumors. Thank you to all my supporters, family, and friends for all the love and light you continue to surround me with."
We're looking after ourselves so we can be the best, and it's just thousands of selfish people.
Get oiled up and look sexy, you know, put our bodies out there. Usually we've got uniforms on over them, and you don't really get to see what we're working with. So,
despite what was seen on social media, Liz Cambage's time with the team was marked by conflicts, including disputes with teammates over jersey numbers and other internal issues. Her exit from the team felt more like an inevitable situation than a mutual decision. One obvious fact was her time at the LA Sparks gave her the worst season of her career. Over 25 games, Cambage averaged just 13 points, 6.4 rebounds, and 1.6 blocks per game, numbers far below even her rookie year. Though she was still considered one of the league's most dominant figures, her reputation took a hit, and a contract termination by the team would have been a significant loss for her. Her final game with the Sparks came against her former team, the Las Vegas Aces, where the Sparks were properly defeated 84-66. Throughout the game, multiple clips and photos captured Liz angrily demanding the ball from her teammates. While they ignored her pleas in the first half, they eventually passed to her more frequently in the second half, but she fumbled nearly every opportunity. After the game, Cambage stormed off to the locker room, immediately changed out of her uniform, and reportedly told a teammate, "Goodbye, I can't do this anymore." And just like that, her WNBA career came to an abrupt and unceremonious end. If you think all she did in the past was appalling, you might be quite surprised to know she now has an OnlyFans account. I guess she wants to go from being a star on the court to being a different type of star.
I love my whole body. I'm proud of my whole body, every inch. My soft skin, my big lips, my crazy hair. I just love me. Everyone has insecurities. I was bullied a lot for being very different while growing up.
Liz's OnlyFans is quite different from a regular one you might imagine. Having an extremely tall model like Liz creates a unique dynamic. Though she claimed her page was initially free, you have to pay $10 per picture to see certain photos. Most of these images were already uploaded to her Instagram as a way of driving traffic to her OnlyFans page. So while her OnlyFans is indeed free, you must pay at least $10 per picture or video to see exclusive content. Liz's story shows someone who turned an uncomfortable situation into strength. At the same time, it shows how someone can fall from fame at any point. Her story emphasizes the need for one to carefully think about their statements before making them, because once words fall from your mouth, you can never take them back. Her rise in basketball was nothing short of remarkable. Not only was she a dominant force on the court, but she also made such a huge impact on the sport that her presence could never be forgotten. Despite all her controversies, her basketball journey inspired a generation of young athletes, and though her controversial side is nothing to learn from, it's good to remember that she is indeed a female basketball legend. If you enjoyed this video, then make sure to check out the next one shown on screen.
Look at you, that is like supermodel, man.
I love being naked. I get in trouble a lot for wanting to be naked all the time, so I love today a lot.